child is always the one that gets forgotten about. But this wasn't their middle child. Hey everyone, my name's Gabi.
I'm Charlotte.
And this is the 2025 Kia Sorento in the X-Line trim level, which is
the middle trim.
There is 2 trim levels above, 2 trim levels below, but quite honestly, this one packs a major punch that I think we should go on a full in-depth walkthrough to explain to you.
Which I think that's exactly what we're doing today. Also, just to give you guys a little bit of backstories, I actually drove the X-Line for a couple months last year, and now I'm in the X-Line Limited, and I think it might surprise you on what we think of this vehicle.
Absolutely. So in today's video, it's not just a regular pre-recorded walkthrough explaining all the functions. It's actually live streamed. So we're doing this in real time, no script. It's just Charlotte and I and the truck, and we're talking all about it. The best part about doing it live is those of you that are watching in real time with us can actually ask us questions about the vehicle in real time so we can see it at the end, and we dedicate a solid chunk of time towards the end of this video to answering simply just your questions.
Someone's mic is popping a little.
Okay.
We'll take a look at it.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's go.
So starting off with the price point, Charlotte, what is it?
So the MSRP of this vehicle is $47,995, which is actually $4 less than the Hyundai Santa Fe XRT counterpart.
Ooh, so although the Santa Fe XRT is a little bit more rugged, the X-Line Sorento is where you'll start to get some of those more outdoor elements on the Sorento lineup. So this is where things get a little bit more rugged and refined.
Ooh.
Starting off on the front end, you'll notice a lot of dark accents, which is fantastic because we have a pearl paint to contrast it today. So let's check out the grille first. You got a nice bit of gloss black with some solid black vertical accents throughout the grille. Surrounding it is a nice dark, almost gunmetal finish. I don't want to call it a dark chrome because it really isn't, but it's still a nice dark finish that isn't as dark as black is. There's still some definition on this car. If you were to opt for a black exterior paint, you would still have the light elements pop out through there, which really makes the car a little bit more special. On the topic of emblems, we do have blacked out elements starting on this trim level, so your Kia badge up at the front, but same thing with the rear end, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. In terms of technology, I'm going to point out what we get for tech, but I'll also give you a brief explanation too, just so it's not so much big words without the what does it mean?
Without the application.
There you go. So starting off on the front end, we have forward parking sensors. There's actually 4 of them placed on the front bumper of this car. You'll definitely notice the ones on the exterior white paint first before you find the ones on this gloss black portion of the front bumper. Essentially, what these sensors are going to do is when you are maneuvering this vehicle, let's say in a parking lot and you're approaching the car ahead of you, once you get within a certain proximity, it'll beep inside the cabin to let you know when you're getting too close. It also gives you a little bit of a visual alert too in the shade of green, yellow, or red, red being you're getting very, very close. So great safety functions to have, especially if this is a larger vehicle than what you're used to. For your headlamps, you'll get full LEDs, so you'll see the vertically stacked, very, very bright LED main headlamp. Those will also be your positioning lights. For the daytime running light, Kia does a fantastic job at incorporating some style to some functionality, and that's going to be in the shape of those amber lights. So they're bold, they're bright, you can't miss them, and it gives the vehicle a very unique look, but also provides fantastic visibility. Those are also your indicator lights. So when you flash your hazards or go to indicate a turn, that's what will flash on the car, so people will know your next move, as long as you use them. All right, down at the bottom, this rectangular plate here is actually a radar plate. Now, standard on the Kia Sorento, not exclusive to this trim level, you get smart cruise control, which is a great feature in and of itself. You turn on your cruise control, you set your speed, and then you set your following distance all from the steering wheel. However, when you move over to the X-Line trim level, it transforms to highway drive assist. So as long as you're on a recognized highway, so in Canada we got our 400 series highways, but even the Link or any highway really, it'll know the speed limit of the road that you're on and use the smart cruise control plus your steering assistance to make sure you're centered in your lane, but also always at a safe distance, and it will take you to a stop if you hit stop and go traffic. All those functions working together really just gives a nice driver assistance, and it's not a full self-drive, but it's certainly helpful. All right, and a couple more aesthetic things I'll point out before we pop the hood. Our lower grille and our skid plate is again finished in that gunmetal finish. Along the bottom, you do have a little bit of solid black plastic, so you got the shine from this gunmetal and then just solid black again. And the lower grille is also finished in just solid black. So we got gloss, we got gunmetal, and we got solid, plus exterior paint. All right, let's pop the hood, you guys.
So this color is a glacial white pearl. So it is a nice pearly pink. It gives a nice sheen too when it is in the natural light, which we are not under today. We have some solid fluorescent lighting going on today.
All right. Standard hood with a strut. And under the hood, we got a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Now this powertrain produces 281 horsepower with 311 pound-feet of torque. And let me tell you, those are actually very, very good and very, very fun numbers. Not only is this powertrain actually quite efficient for a 3-row all-wheel drive SUV, it's also a ton of fun to drive. And a lot of people don't think fun to drive in 3-row SUV, especially not at this price point. So this vehicle is rated at 8.7 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway with a combined ratio for city and highway driving at 10.3. You can also see those numbers do quite better depending on how you drive. But with the power that this vehicle produces, you might find yourself digging into a little bit more throttle than you'd like. It's a lot of fun, you guys. All right, on the topic of transmission, it's an 8-speed wet type dual clutch transmission, and this will be your introductory trim level to getting the paddle shifters. So while the trim level below shares the same transmission, you don't get the paddles. You can still, however, knock the actual gear shift lever into Tiptronic mode if you would like to manually manipulate the gears. For your wheels, this is where we get a very, very nice design change. For the actual alloy itself, it's a 20-inch alloy shared with the X-Line Limited style, all black. And right now, we've got quite a bit of overspray from Detail Products, but we'll try to make it show okay on camera. The actual spokes, which are a pretty funky design, are finished in gloss black. And then surrounding your center cap, which is actually a full cover of your lugs, is solid black. It looks almost matte. It's not black plastic that you typically see surrounding things like your wheel arch. It's a very, very nice matte color with more gloss in the center insert and a little bit of dark chrome for the Kia emblem. So a lot of mixed elements in the wheels. One of the worst things in automotive history is the blacked outification of cars, where everything is blacked out, but it's always in the same all black finish. I really do think it's great that Kia has the dark finishes, but in mixed materials, so there's still a bit of contrast and it looks good. There's still style incorporated. It's not like just someone put plasti dip everywhere. All right, rant over. For the tire, it's a Continental all-season tire, and this vehicle is equipped with all-wheel drive. Matter of fact, all Sorento trim levels here in Canada are standard with all-wheel drive. It is a front-wheel drive bias, so if it's a nice sunny day and you're on dry pavement, the vehicle will primarily be in front-wheel drive unless you're starting from a standstill or if you turn into an uneven surface. So you drive on a gravel road, the vehicle will redistribute the torque to give you the optimal grip for whatever kind of road you're traveling on. If you want to, though, there is a dial inside the cabin, which Charlotte will show, that allows you to put the vehicle in snow mode, mud mode, or sand mode, each of which will equip the vehicle to cater to those driving situations. It will redistribute the torque, your stability control, everything to give you optimal grip. All right, that was a lot of talking. Let's work our way up. Over here, we have a nice fender flare with, again, 2 different design elements, gloss black and solid black. For your mirrors, you get gloss all around with an LED turn signal indicator, and then on the mirrored portion, you have our blind spot collision avoidance assist. So you've probably seen this on many vehicles where that little icon on the mirror illuminates when there's a car in your blind spot. This vehicle will also beep inside the cabin if you are indicating while there's a car there, and if you still try to change lanes and it detects that you might be in a collision, it will revert you into your originating lane. That's one of the forward collision or one of the collision avoidances on this car. There's another one which I'll point out to you right in the center of the windshield. So that camera is what will be utilized for things like your lane follow assist, but also your forward collision avoidance. This vehicle can pick up if there's a risk of a crash with a vehicle, pedestrian, or a cyclist ahead of you and hit the brakes if it senses it's necessary. It'll always provide you with a warning first so you as a driver can react before the machine will actually take over. Great safety function to have. You can also change the sensitivity of it. So if you think it's a little bit too sensitive for you, you can change it or shut it off completely. All right, for your windows and trim pieces, again, more gloss black. You'll see it on your pillars themselves and also on the belt line. Your door handles are body color, but you do have your proximity entry button. So as long as the key is on you, press that button, it'll unlock the car or lock it, depending on what you did first. And then up at the top, you get ladder style roof rails. So a bit of a raised rail. Very handy because we do get a panoramic sunroof in this trim level. So this way you have the additional clearance. That way you can still utilize rooftop cargo storage and use your sunroof.
VK said, great vehicle. Just bought that exact model and color.
Ooh!
This video's for you then.
There you go. You're going to be a pro at this car. Along the back end, I love how the Sorento keeps things super, super clean. There's a lot of sharp lines. It's a perfect amount of dark accents. And one of my personal favorites, the deletion of a rear wiper. Just kidding. It's tucked away underneath the spoiler. So you still get your rear wiper. It's just not going to get clogged with dirt and ice and all those beautiful elements that we get here in Canada. So it'll always be nice tucked away under there. Get a high-mounted stop lamp, beautiful taillights that do have a nice bit of dark housing around them too, so you don't have to tint your taillights to match the rest of the dark look on this car. It comes from factory, having just the right amount. Sorento emblems on the bottom left, and then you got more rear parking sensors, so 4 of them along the rear bumper. This also has that gunmetal finish that we see up at the front, so your lower bumper piece. And let me just get around to open the liftgate. It is a power liftgate. That's something that we add on over from the trim level below it. That is also height adjustable, so if it's a bit too tall for you, move it to your preferred height, press and hold the liftgate button until it beeps, and that will save it as its new height. Back over here, you can see we have a great amount of trunk space when the rear seats are folded down. So when we do bring them up, we certainly lose out on cargo room. But because they are separated in a very modular configuration, it's fairly easy to reconfigure the back cabin here to make sure you're getting the space that you need and you can put the cargo that you need back here. So right now I've got one seat up. You can see the amount of space we have behind the seat. And then underneath this floorboard here, we do have a little bit more cargo area. So the right-hand side will house things like your jack with the actual tire itself, your spare tire being underneath the car.
I'm getting too pregnant for this.
Yeah, I shouldn't make the pregnant lady do this. And then the left-hand side has a little bit of space for, let's say, a first aid kit, emergency blanket, that kind of thing. The Sorento also has a bunch of cargo tie-down points, so you'll notice the corners have a cargo ring. You can attach your cargo net to that or anything really you need. And let me just bring this back down for a second to show you guys the side pieces, because we do have cup holders and a little bit of storage as well as USB-Cs. Also, this is pretty handy. A lot of people don't really think about this until they need it, but there are clips to tuck away your seatbelts. And it's not just for the rear seats. The second row seats also have them, but it's probably better for Charlotte to show you guys.
I'll show them, don't worry guys.
And then you do have a button over here to knock down your second row. You can knock them individually, so the left seat versus the right seat or both of them at once. They are not power seats though, so to bring them back up, you will have to manually lift them yourself.
I'm just gonna bring these up before I have to get back
here. Oh, smart.
That way I don't have to like struggle like I did last week. Guys, look how easy it is. I'm not too pregnant to do this.
She's doing it with one hand too.
That was an absolute breeze.
All right, I'll close this up.
Thank you.
And we can quickly talk about the fuel tank. So the Kia Sorento on all trim levels has a 67-liter tank. It is just regular unleaded fuel, so it doesn't hurt to fill up at the pump. And on average, Charlotte, how much do you get out of a tank?
So I want to say right now I'm at like 620, 615, and that is like I do only city driving.
Only
like
city.
It's city all the time.
So if you're on the highway, you could do a whole lot better.
Probably costs about 85 bucks Canadian right now to fill up from empty. My gas light's on.
I wish.
Yeah, you do. Gas is also expensive right now, so.
And then I'll just also quickly point out, if you are trying to fill up a Sorento, because when we first got the model refresh of the Sorento back in 2021, this is the first Kia I saw where you had to push on the gas tank to open it. As long as the car's unlocked, that's how you access the fuel door. Push it again, closes. When you lock the car, you cannot open it. It's only when the car's unlocked. I had to Google it.
That was actually a great thing to show for the video.
There you go.
I feel like we never show where the fuel releases are.
We never talk about it. If there's one more thing I can point out about this car, just that it looks fantastic. And again, on the topic of black accents, I think this is black accents done well. It's not too much. It doesn't look cheap. It doesn't look like aftermarket emblems that you just stick on. It looks good. All right, Charlotte's going to take over on the inside. Speaking of looking good.
Just remember, Hot Girls Drive, Sorentos. No,
Hey.
just kidding. And Mazda B-Series. All right, so let's take a look on the interior. And I actually am a Sorento daily driver. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I actually drove this exact model in this exact color for probably a 6-month period. So I got pretty used to it. And then I jumped into the X-Line Limited, which this is controversial. I don't actually think is necessary. I think that this trim really gives you everything that you could want and could need, but then some. So let's take a look at the driver's side door first and foremost. We have some fantastic X-Line exclusive elements. So from here, you're going to see some wood trim, which looks really good. We have some quilted leather on the side for some detailing with some contrast stitching, and then also some chrome. So looks good, looks functional, nice design after seeing all the thought that goes into the exterior. Mirrors are electronically controlled. Your driver's window is one touch with the obstacle detecting, and then you also have electronic window and child locks, so everything is really done by the touch of a button. Down below, bottle holder and one of, I believe, 6 speakers in this vehicle because I didn't see any in the rear, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. I can't quite remember the speakers, I'm going to be honest with you. Like and subscribe.
Do you remember the airbags?
There's 9 airbags in this vehicle, so the safety is really fantastic, which is something that's important to me, especially as a mom. And the NHTSA does rate this as their top safety pick, or sorry, as their 5-star in the event of a collision, and the IIHS rates it as their top safety pick. So all of that external safety is going to help you to help mitigate a collision, but since things can still happen, should something happen, you're going to be in good hands, which is what I love. In this side, let's take a look at what we've got going on. We've got some vents they seem to mimic the vertically stacked headlights, which look great. We also have our brightness adjuster, tailgate control, and then your traction control. Down below.
Show us the pedals.
Down below, the pedals are black.
Hold on, I can't really get a good view of them.
I heard you guys like tatted girls. It's a stupid thing to say. All right, like and subscribe. For our seats, you do have a power driver's seat, so you are able to adjust the legroom, height adjustable, and then also your backrest. And this has the inclusion of 2-way lumbar support as well. So super comfortable for the girls with back pain. It's me. I've got back pain right now. On this trim as well, you're going to have leather-wrapped heated steering wheel, fantastic. Media controls on this side, driving controls on this side. The driving controls is what I really want to focus on because from here is when you're going to be able to enable and adjust your highway drive assist, which Gabby spoke about at the front, and then also that following distance and your lane keeping systems. So all of that is adjustable by the touch of a button. I'm going to quickly turn the vehicle on, put it into accessory mode. And I want to show you this button here. So this is a little notes icon, which is going to be used to cycle between the center screen. It's 4.2 inches, so you can see how the vehicle responds to you as the driver. You can also see your turn-by-turn navigation because this trim is the introductory to the factory navigation. Your safety features, that power distribution, so the smart all-wheel drive system, and your tire pressure. Right beside that, you have a digital speedometer and tachometer. However, it is only this screen. That is the one that changes.
There's also another hidden feature on this car. I just want to quickly show it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Hold on.
The Sorento.
The Sorento. I will not show you the Sorento. Just know that it is there.
Speaking of towing.
Speaking of towing, 3,500 pounds of towing capacity.
3,500 pounds when properly equipped.
Yes.
On this vehicle. Very nice to see for sure. All right,
always good to see. Now, 3,500 pounds is the highest-ish trim level the highest towing capacity you can get, other than the very, very top trim level of the Kia Sorento, which amps it up to 4,500 pounds.
What's your seat like?
My seat's very nice. It's the same leatherette finish. It is a manual seat. You got your backrest adjustment, and then you've got your bar in between to change the distance from the dash.
Yes, and thank you for mentioning the fact that this is a synthetic leatherette finish. Looks really good, very soft, very buttery, I will say, and doesn't quite smell like leather. You know, sometimes it smells bad. All right, for media, let's take a look at what we have in the center. We have a 12.3-inch screen. We're also going to see the continuation of this wood across the center fascia of the car. Again, looks really nice. Love it. Bringing those fun design exterior elements onto the interior. Integrated navigation, as I said. And from here, again, everything is fully customizable, so you really are able to move these around too. In terms of phone projection, you're going to have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Woohoo! And you also have a wireless phone charger in this vehicle, so truly a wireless experience, which I personally love. The last thing I want to worry about is having a cord in my car, or if it's not compatible with someone else's phone. Like my husband and I have different phones. Yeah, Gabby's mocking me. She's like, girl.
The last thing I need is a cord in my car.
I've got so much crap in my car. Like, I don't need to worry about anything else, guys. Okay. Set up. So if you guys want to go and adjust those safety features that Gabby mentioned on the exterior, it's going to be done here. So just come in, click on what it is. It's going to give you a little bit of a descriptor too. That way you know what you're changing. So that way you don't, turn off your forward collision and really you want to do your blind spot. Slay. And then also you have this drop-down menu, which is, again, going to be customizable too. So lots that you can do, lots that you can customize to really make suit this vehicle to you and your needs. Down below, switchable infotainment and climate control cluster. That's a mouthful every single time. These are all going to jump you into the applicable screens on this menu, and they do provide some haptic feedback. And then you also have your climate control with dual zone climate control. Ooh, and auto defog, meaning no more having to struggle between trying to find the perfect temperature for your defrost to clear up your windscreen. It's going to do it automatically for you.
I
Big
hate
win.
playing that game.
I know. Hot or cold. I'm always wrong. Front and rear defrost, again, are going to be located there. I'll turn that. Why did I switch it and then turn it off? Wireless phone charger, which I mentioned. If you do want to have a cord in your car like Gabby, you have 2 USB-Cs, one for connectivity, one for charging. And then the front 2 seats are going to be heated. And actually, we have heated seats in the rear, in the second row as well, which is going to start on this trim. Regular gear shift to complement your paddle shifters. So you have not 1, but 2 ways of shifting your automatic car. And then down below, you'll notice that we have our drive mode and terrain mode select. So drive mode, press down for normal, eco, sport, and smart. And then terrain modes, it's going to be snow, mud, and sand to change up that torque distribution. So lots of different ways. I typically drive my vehicle in smart mode because it's going to cycle between all those different drive modes depending on what the vehicle sees fit. Heated steering wheel, which I mentioned. You have your auto hold, so when you're driving and this is enabled, if you bring the vehicle to a full and complete stop, it will hold you at a stop until you put your foot back on the gas. Downhill braking assist, electronic parking brake, your rear view camera with your parking sensors just above it. So from here, rear view camera with dynamic guidelines, and right here will show you with those front and rear parking sensors in the red, yellow, or green. You also have a wide view and a top-down viewpoint, which is especially handy for towing, and you have that same parking distance, forward sensors and rear sensors screen. Idle stop and go, everyone's favorite feature. Everyone's feature that they love to hate. You can turn it off, but that's going to temporarily shut off the engine when you bring the vehicle to a full stop. And then as you put your foot back on the gas, it's going to click it back on, or it's going to turn back on, and you're going to be able to proceed. The idea behind that is to help with your fuel consumption. Personally, I turn mine off, and like I said, I do predominantly city driving and don't seem to have a problem with, with fuel guzzling. 2 cup holders, little storage compartment here, little area that I like to use for sunglasses. Change holder as well, and then a good amount of hidden storage down below. Up top, panoramic sunroof. That's pretty sweet, eh? And the trim. Yeah. Canada.
Can you tell this is a Canadian car review?
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, so that's there. Your mirror, ECM mirror, so with HomeLink, auto dimming is basically what that means. Hi. And then up top, standard on the Kia Sorento for 2024 and 2025 is Kia Connect. So that's a telematics system, which I use every single day to preheat the condition of my cabin, use location services, lock and unlock it, all from the comfort of my phone. Also starting on this trim is going to be LED interior lighting. So really we have full LEDs, which is pretty sweet. All right, glove box review. Show me the glove box, Gabby.
We need to talk about this. Illuminated glove box. 2 manuals, French and English.
Kia corporate doesn't want you to know this hack.
They don't want you to know this. Kia book. French.
But this is why you guys watch the videos that we do, right?
One day,
the movie's always better than the book.
I think we should do a live reading
of
the owner's manual.
What if we make it an audiobook, but it's just us?
Dramatic reading too. Let us know if you guys would watch that, because we could do that.
Everyone's like, please no, please no. Okay, back seat. Back seat is great. Now, in terms of space, it's good.
There's a lot of it.
I was going to say something. Everyone has been curious, asking me if I'm going to change vehicles now that baby number 2 is on the way. I'm planning on staying with the Sorento because I find that the space with the captain chairs is going to be compatible with 2 car seats. I've already tested it out. It's Charlotte approved. I'm really happy with it, especially because these seats are on rail systems. So I can adjust them, move them forward, move them backwards, which is going to help with the ease of car seats. Also having the center aisle, if I still need to access the 3rd row, I can do that with a breeze, again with car seats. Another thing that I like is the fact that we have rear ventilation, so those air vents. You also have opportunities for charging because, my 2-year-old has a smartphone. No, just kidding. But we have dual USB-Cs and a 12-volt down below, and then 2 pockets on the side of both. On the door, you'll notice that we have heated seats, so heated second row. We also have cup holders and a bottle holder and more speakers. armrest too. All right, I'll show you guys how to get into the third row. So if you're already in here, you can just walk through the aisle. I fear I might be too big. No, I'm good. Okay.
You're growing the other way, Charlotte.
I was sizing myself up for like my stomach, but if you are outside, let me just unclip that. Then you can press this down. It's gonna bring the seat forward in a release, and then you're able to go and access the third row. Third row, this is pretty good for like a bonus third row. It's not like, you know, something like the Palisade or the Telluride. I like that I've got USB-Cs back here. I like that I still have cup holders and stuff like that. And I love that they didn't try to sandwich a third seat back here. This is definitely a 2-seater only in the back to make it way more comfortable. Also, these 4 seats are car seat compatible with latches and tethers. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is it Q&A time, Char?
It's Q&A time.
Let's answer some questions.
Let's ace some
cues.
cues.
I was going to say that, but I wanted to make sure that wasn't like a bad...
And then there's me. I just said it. And I was like, oh, I'll deal with the consequences. Okay. Mic warning. I'm dropping the hood.
She said what she said.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, question time. That was a very interesting live. A lot of personality came out today.
Sorry, guys.
Let us know if you don't want that. Our next live stream.
Our subscribers go down.
Hello, everyone. What goodies are the tech package if there is one? So there's no tech package. However, if you are looking for the most tech, I would argue that the X-Line Limited might be the better buy than the actual fully loaded top trim level, simply because that's where you get a majority of the advanced tech functions. The very, very top trim adds on things like a digital rear view camera. So instead of having your regular camera, you can have a digital view as well, but not much else.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
I just want to read Obama Bean's comment because it made me laugh. My dad sizes up restaurant booths for his stomach.
I'm at the point where I'm literally sizing up cars where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of that, guys. Like, oh, man.
What are the most, this is a really interesting question. What are the most innovative technological advancements incorporated into the 2025 Kia Sorento X-Line? And how has the design evolved to enhance driver and passenger comfort? So this is more so on the driver end of things, but I think the inclusion of highway drive assist is a huge technological advancement available on the X-Line trim level.
I think also this is more basic, but the fact that everything can be done by the driver from your fingertips, so easy. That way you don't actually have to go in through any screens if you don't want to. The passenger can if they want. Also, just you have integrated navigation. The screens in this vehicle are really good when it comes to the tech. And then for passenger comfort, love.
Sorry,
am I talking too much? Yeah. For passenger comfort, love the captain's chairs. Love the fact that it's 2 in the third row as well. And there's comfort elements. Everything is heated aside from the third row. I saw Grant. Yeah, I think that there's a ton.
Patina Turner said, absolutely loving my Sorento for my family of 5. Charlotte, look into a roof basket. It frees up a lot of the interior space, especially for road trips.
Yes, so definitely. I thought about the same thing, especially because you already have the bridge style roof racks, which is really great. I will say sometimes if I'm going on a road trip, I'll try to take a different stock vehicle just to see how it holds up. So like I've done it in the Telluride, I've done it in the EV9, but I know not everyone lives that life. I probably should take one in my own car at some point.
I don't live that life.
Yeah, Gabby doesn't. Hee. Is there a possibility to have a 7 places in Sorento only on the LX trim? Everything that is turbocharged, including the hybrid and the plug-in hybrid, is 6-seaters. Sorry.
I just want to address this before there's any sort of rumor happening. Warren asked if I have any children, to which my boyfriend says, yes, she had a son named Herb. I do not have a son. Its name is not Herb. No offense if your name is Herb.
I hate that you have to address that because otherwise the rumors will spread.
I do, however, have a cat. His name's Fergus. He sucks.
He's not even yours.
I know, but he lives in my house.
Yeah. I mean, Daniel basically
can
is.
Can you show my dog? It's on your computer.
Okay, guys, this is Gabby's dog. Let me pull up the image. I don't need to just show everyone my messages. Okay, don't judge my computer screen either. This is Gabby's dog.
She's really fat, but she's so cute. Her name's Zena. She has been on the channel before.
She has.
What type of cat breed? Orange.
Orange.
Orange cat.
That's a really clean laptop screen. Yeah, I took inspo from Gabby's iPad. Thank you. Oh.
The camera system's great, not to mention the ability to check pics from the app and see who's parked around you. Yeah, so if you have a vehicle equipped with a 360 camera, very cool. Sometimes I get worried if a customer of ours signed into the Kia Connect app before they actually picked up their car. Whenever I'm drilling in the license plate to the front plate mount, I'm always looking in the camera like, I hope they're not checking the cameras right now. They just see my forehead like right up against their car. But
that'd be terrifying.
that's a real thought I've had.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Should that probably be it?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't really expand upon that.
Hey, Doug. Do you want to be in the video?
We're filming.
Okay,
right,
we're about to end.
Doug's got a delivery. Say, yay, everybody. Everyone say, yay, Doug.
Yay, Doug.
Go, Doug. Woo. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, you're not in yet.
You're not
you
in
gotta
the
come in
frame.
a little more.
Thanks, guys.
You unlocked a new Brave for Kia staff member. Congrats. Bye.
Oh, no, I didn't do it.
Oh, girl.